Hi guys, just me on the sofa in my pajama llamas as we call them. No bag. Well, Alexa is up there, but just because I plumped her down there. Tonight I'm going to talk to you not about bags or a specific bag. I'm going to talk to you about buying and selling on Facebook pages, or more specifically on Mulberry pages, or most specifically on the Mulberry page that I help to admin. The ladies there who've run the page for over a year, or just over a year, excuse me, got a cold, asked me to join them a few weeks ago. I did, really enjoying it. I was part of the community pretty much since that page was founded. But I tell you what, being on the admin side is a whole other bowl of fish. It's one of those, kettle of fish, ball game, one of those things. Since I've seen we keep getting sort of the same questions over and over, and we keep answering the same questions over and over, and we had lots of new members recently, I thought I'll do a very quick, no frills post and talk to you about that. So what are the rules if you want to be part of that community and you want to be a nice member of that community? First thing is read the pinned post. When you join that page and you go to the top of that page and you find the pinned post, just read it. I know it looks like a lot of words, and because you are new to that page, you might even read it and not take it all in, but just read it, then spend some time on the page, and then as and when, before you do something specific, refer back to it and see whether there's a rule about whatever thing you want to do, whatever you want to post, and see whether there's a rule around that. For example, if you want to do a selling post on our page, excuse me, you have to make sure you include enough pictures that obviously show the bag or show the item, that represent the item and show its condition, the condition it is in, and also you have to include certain markers, because we are dealing with genuine designer handbags. So for Mulberry bag, in that case, we would expect to see picture front and back of the fob, of the imprint, which is that Mulberry tag, that tag that has Mulberry printed on it, and the front and back of the made in label. If you don't include those, we're just going to delete your post when it comes through to approval. I wish we had the time to message every individual that is just forgetting one little thing, and honestly I did that at the very beginning, and then I realized just how much stuff is coming through. There's no way you can do it. It's just too much. The volume coming through at now over 10,000 members, it's just too much. So make sure you include all the right pictures, and not just the right pictures, check which information is supposed to be in there. Obviously you have to describe the bag, you have to explain where there's maybe any damage to it or any wear or whatever, include measurements, that kind of stuff, but then check whether there are any other rules about that. Again, on our page, specific rules. Make sure you mention whether the bag comes from a smoke or pet-free home, because that can be quite important to some people. I, for one, wouldn't necessarily want to buy a bag I knew that smelled of smoke. Maybe other people are not so bothered about it. I know you can get rid of smoke smell, but anyway, it's by the by. The whole point is you declaring, you explaining what your bag is like for somebody to part with quite a significant amount of money on a trust basis to some extent, that what you've explained is there. So there are certain things that we there for mandate that have to be in there. So read the pinned post is number one. Okay, number two, talking about selling posts, take good pictures. If you want to sell your bag, you need to, as I said, present it in a way where you're honest and you show anywhere, but you also want it to look nice. So if it's a style that's not particularly sturdy or not particularly structured, stuff it, so that the person who's buying the bag doesn't just see it lying flat like a pancake on your sofa or floor, on your bed or wherever. Stuff it so it looks like as if you filled it with stuff, or maybe use it, and stuff it so it looks like this is what the person will be carrying around. They wouldn't be carrying around the bag empty, so show what it's like when it's full. Try to get decent lighting, ideally some daylight, especially if you're showing coloured leathers. That can be quite tricky. Explain if you can't represent the colour well enough on the pictures, or maybe even include a stock picture from Mulberry or whatever. Make sure all the pictures are your own, but then you can maybe add a stock picture if you say, I can't quite get the colour right, but this is actually what it looks like. Okay, so read the pin post, number 1. Number 2, take good pictures. Okay, your own pictures. Don't use somebody else's pictures, your own pictures. Number 3, research the price. So if you have a bag to sell, it's fairly straightforward. You could go on eBay, see what they sold for before, similar condition. That's sort of what you're pitching it at. Have a search in the group, see whether there's any bags of that same model posted at the moment. What are they up for, or what have they sold for? Again, compare the condition, or think about things such as, is your bag's colour maybe a more desirable one, or whatever. You could also try Naughty Pigeon's nest, because she will leave all of the sold bags up there. Excuse me, I'm not going to cut this out. Can't be bothered. Told you I've got a cold. Naughty Pigeon's nest. She leaves all of her sold bags up there, so you can have a look what they sell for. She can sell for slightly more because she's got a nice trustworthy shop, obviously, and she's not some private seller, so make allowance for that. But eBay is usually a good starting point. NPN somewhere in between, maybe. Okay, so research that price. If you need help, by all means contact admin. Do not try to post on the page, I'm thinking about selling this bag, how much should I post it for? Because admin will not approve that, because what we had in the past, we used to approve these, and then you have a frenzy of, oh, I might be interested in that bag, and then it just gets into arguments of who said they want to buy it first. Okay, contact admin if you have problems finding a price. We try to help where we can. The next thing, talking about price, when you post your description and everything, include the full price, and include in that full price all of the charges. So it needs to include fees, postage. So fees, I'm talking about PayPal. Work out how much fees you will end up paying for what you want to sell the bag for, and add that on top. There is a really handy calculator which I'll link to if I find the link later, but essentially I think you pay like 20p plus 3.4% of the selling price. So add that. Also research how much postage should be. Make sure you make allowance for posting using the right service, which insures the bag to the correct amount, and add that on top. And then advertise your bag or your item with a full price, which includes all the fees and postage costs. Okay, so what do we have? Read the pin post, take good pictures, price it, research the price, and include all the charges. PayPal, I just mentioned PayPal. Before you start selling, make sure you have a PayPal account set up. Really easy to do. You just need to link it to, set it up with an email and then link it to a current account. I think it only takes a couple of days then, or even less. It transfers an amount into your account, which you have to then confirm, and that's it. It's all linked, or you can link it, I think, to a credit card. Not 100% sure, but anyway, set it up. That's really the only acceptable way of payment that the admin will advise all the buyers to use, because buyer and seller are both protected through it. I've done some previous blog posts on PayPal and why PayPal, so have a look at those. Next thing is, so you've got all your pictures, you've written your nice description, you've worked out the price, you've written it all up, you sent post. You're waiting there eagerly until admin approve it. They approve it. Are you there? Really important. Stick around. If it's a really desirable bag, especially maybe, as soon as you post it, you will get people commenting on it. Whether they say interested or whether they say could I have some more information about this bag? If they're interested in purchasing your bag, be around to answer questions. Don't disappear. It could be that you sat there a bit disappointed because nobody will jump at it. It has a lot to do with the time of day or evening when you post it as well. But just be around, okay? What was I just going to say? Oh yeah, well the next thing is, when I said when admin approves it straight away, sometimes admin won't approve it straight away. But number 7, which is the last point on my list, is be nice to admin. I know we can be maybe a little come across as a bit annoying because we say read the pinned post and follow the rules, but we look after pages in our own time. We're not getting paid for that. We're not asking to get paid for that. We're not expecting big huge thanks or anything like that. We enjoy what we do, but if you start getting private message or getting comments, why has this still not been approved, when it's just clearly something that did not follow the advice on the pinned post, as in include this information, make sure you have all of the pictures, you know, it does get a little bit annoying. And yes, so just be nice and friendly, and be thankful to your admin. No need to send us presents, you really don't. But just be friendly, and if you're friendly to them, then they're friendly back to you. If you're really annoying to them or even rude, you know what? They can just chuck you out of that page, and there's no way necessarily back in if they block you as well. You might not even able to find that page. So be nice to them. It's just they just want an easy life. I promise you, they just want an easy life. So I've ranted too long now. I'm really sorry. I'm quite tired. I was going to write all of this up. Instead, I'm just going to do some short bullet points for you. And I promise you, over the next few weeks, I will expand on the individual points and give some more help and guidance. So hope you found this useful. Good night.